So in case you don't know me, my name is Monica Main, and I'm here to share with you what I consider the world's most perfect business. It's what I call the double prong opportunity. And so I'm going to be sharing that with you for the very first time ever. So I'm super, super, super excited. And it is what I attribute most of what I call behind the scenes success, and something I've been striving for many, many years, working the bugs out of this business for a super long time. So I'm really excited and honored to be able to share this with you. So let's get to it, okay? I hope everybody's ready to go because I have a lot of stuff to share, especially if you're interested in a business, a real business that can make you more money per year than your doctor, dentist, and lawyer combined. So hopefully you guys and gals are ready for this because this is going to knock your socks off. So over 300 of my students are currently using this right now to bring in over $20,000 per month in passive income, working less than an hour a day. And some of these people in my group are making well over $100,000 per month. So it's women, it's men, it's people of all backgrounds, races, creeds, and ages that are making a killing in this business. And I'm going to share with you exactly what they're doing as we move along here. And that is by writing and publishing popular novels on Amazon. And I'm going to share with you exactly how this whole thing works, especially for those of you that don't know how to write. Like, for example, Gina Main, she did not know how to write anything, just was really desperate to get out of her situation, including getting out of a situation with her husband, Steve, who was extremely abusive. And she had just had a young baby, so she was really desperate to find something that was going to make a lot of money for her. It took a while for her to gain traction in this business. I just want to be very clear. This is not an overnight get-rich-quick type of deal. This is a real business that takes some time, effort, and energy to build and establish. But I'm telling you, when you put the time, effort, and energy into it, you could very well be the next success story like Gina, who eventually was able to get out of her abusive relationship because she's making so much money on her own. And Megan Olson, who brought in her husband, Dave, and she was able to help him retire out of a position that he could not stand because he was in upper management and they were just really draining his heart and soul dry with endless amounts of hours. And then, of course, she was able to start this business, bring her husband into the business, and now they make a fortune doing this business in Amazon publishing. So in the next few minutes, my goal is to share with you exactly how you can wildly profit as an Amazon author and publisher, even if you don't like to write, don't want to write, or don't even know how to write. All right, so I hope you guys are ready for this because this is amazing. So this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, as I already mentioned. And this is not a plug-and-play online business, which, as we all know, they're a dime a dozen. They simply do not work. And if you really want to finally plug into what I call a real business, a business that actually has teeth to it, then this is the business that you've probably been looking for many, many years now. So for the people, I'm hoping you, that understand that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme, this is not an overnight success deal. If you understand that, then I can share with you exactly what the strategy is on how to help you build a seven-figure business, a seven-figure publishing mini empire. And if you'd like me to help you kickstart this in less than a week, then this is definitely something for you. Now, I have to tell you, and we're going to get along into the nitty-gritty of this in a second, but start to think about the types of fiction genres that you like to read. Like, for example, for me personally, I like to read certain kinds of fiction that I like suspense, I like mystery, I like thriller, I definitely like government conspiracy types of things. I'm not really into horror. There's a lot of books like sci-fi and stuff like that I'm not interested in. So start thinking and putting in the back of your mind like the types of stories that you like to read. And maybe you're not a big reader. Maybe you like Audible books, or maybe you just like to watch movies and you're not even a big book reader at all. But just start to think in terms of like the types of fiction that you like to read and watch. And that is a clue for you on the types of books that you can publish and produce for Amazon to make a fortune with. So in your first 30 days, if you really want to crank down on this, I could share with you exactly the strategy that I've used to share with tons and tons of my students who've been able to utilize this step-by-step blueprint to make $300 to $500 per day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, most of you are not going to be able to make it within the first 30 days. It's normally going to be within about 60 days or a little more than that. But if you really do roll up your sleeves and do everything I share with you and tell you to do, then you would be able to bring in your first $300 to $500 per day starting within your first 30 days of launching your first book. So this is even if you have zero experience, you're totally new to this business, don't know how to write anything, don't know anything about publishing, I'm going to share with you exactly how this whole thing works. And then, of course, I can help you launch and set up your entire business from scratch, starting and kickstarting what I call the Jump Starter program, where you can start within your first 5 days. And I'm going to also share with you how you can turn your business on what we call autopilot, so your business continues to grow and grow without your day-to-day involvement once you get it set up and running. So I know that's a really bold promise, but I strongly urge you to just kind of hang out with me for a little bit, because I'm going to share with you proof of other people that are doing this, proof of what my experience has been with this, and show you ultimate proof that this is truly what I call the world's most perfect business. So take T.R. Reagan. She makes on average about $37,000 per month in profits, and she writes mostly niche fiction novels. I personally don't really care for her novels. I think that they're too creepy and spooky, but maybe that's your thing. Who knows? She lives in Orange County, California, and of course living the writer's dream, because she's doing this, and this is all she does, is publish books with Amazon. Or Lauren Asher, she's a single mom in Vermont. She publishes fairy tale romance, and she makes about $70,000 of profits per month. And she also publishes under a pen name like most people. And you're probably going to, hopefully, ideally publish under a pen name, because you're not going to want to use your real name. And I don't use my real name either. I strongly urge you to even start thinking about a certain pen name that you might want to use for your Amazon publishing business. But she also doesn't write any books because she uses ghostwriters. Or Tate James, she started making tens of thousands a month with her books within her first year. She's now at over $300,000 per month in profits. It's pretty amazing. She writes romantic suspense, and she lives in Australia, living her very best life. Or Freida McFadden, she's actually one of my favorites. She writes psychological thriller books. By the way, you can check out any of these people on Amazon at any point in time. She wrote only a handful of books. She makes over $500,000 per month in pure profits just from Kindle alone. We're not talking about Audible, paperback, or anything else. She's also a medical doctor on the side. I always think that that's funny. In fact, most recently, I've even noticed that I've seen her books in Barnes & Noble now, so she's definitely expanding out in her publishing empire. And you can very well do the same thing as well if you'd like to. So if you're serious about creating a business that can provide you with the lifestyle and freedom that you want, then this presentation is going to be the most important that you've ever seen in your entire life. So who am I, and how can I potentially change your life? Well, I'm a single mom and a domestic abuse survivor. I hate mentioning that to people, but I do, just to share with you that, I have real problems just like other people, and I've had real struggles in my life just like others as well. And so I had to find a way to make money while raising my daughter on my own with no support whatsoever. But at that time, I was in the professional field of real estate investing for the most part. And I had to keep a specific mask for that kind of profession. So I couldn't really share with people that I was doing this side hustle thing, which was writing erotica under a pen name. And within my first year, I started making about $58,000 per month. And I literally knew nothing about what I was doing. I literally had to bumble my way through this entire business, because I read a million books about how to publish on Amazon, went through some fly-by-night online courses that cost me thousands of dollars each one, went through some Udemy courses, and it just really, nothing really clicked until I started doing it myself and creating my own system on my own. And so this is case in point that fiction is what sells and nonfiction does not. So this is one of my nonfiction books, and it doesn't sell nearly as well as fiction. So at that time, I had a very successful show with PBS called The Main Way to Wealth, and I had a best-selling book called The Lost Secret, Unlocking the Hidden Chapters of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich While Investing in Real Estate. I personally could no longer operate at this breakneck pace that I was going for, and even at bestseller status with my book, The Lost Secret, I wasn't making any money. So this is the part that a lot of people don't understand. It's like they want to share their message with the world and all these different things with fiction, or nonfiction rather, with self-help and these other kinds of, biography types of literature books. And they don't realize that there's really no money in that. So if you really truly have a labor of love, where you really want to write a nonfiction book about maybe you're a cancer survivor or something that's really important for you to share with the world, then by all means, go ahead and publish a book that way. But you're going to find that most of the time you're not going to be making any money. So that nonfiction book is ultimately going to be your calling card to maybe sell some online courses or seminars or other things that you do on the back end, because a nonfiction book is not for the purposes of you making money with. I mean, ask most nonfiction authors. I mean, unless you're somebody that's really way up there, that's been able to sell millions and millions of copies because you're famous or a celebrity in some way, then you're probably not going to make any money on nonfiction books. So this was my experience with nonfiction titles, is even though it went to bestseller status, I was still making absolutely no money. And this is when I decided to hop onto the Fiction Profits bandwagon for what I call a new kind of freedom business. And so for me, it was writing erotica novels under a pen name, averaging between 50 and 60,000 a month in my first year. And now I average about 150,000 per month in profits on the low end, and that's when I'm consistent with my book publishing efforts. So when you're consistent, which I'm going to share with you exactly what consistent means, you can still make the money, but you will find that you're going to drop off a cliff every so often if you stop publishing over the course of, say, 3 to 6 months, which I had to go through a major intensive move recently across the country. And so I was unable to publish during that time, and that's when I noticed that, you know, my profits did go down, and so I'm back at it as far as rebuilding that up again. But this is case in point just how powerful and profitable this can be for you, but you do have to stay very consistent, which I'm going to share with you exactly what that means in a second. So instead of me working 60 to 80 hours a week, this new business gave me the freedom to do what I've always wanted to do. This has always been my dream, of being able to publish books in this way, to be able to basically use my mind for creative purposes, which you can as well. Like I said, if you're not even a writer, I can guarantee you that there's a lot of different movies and TV shows that are all fiction that you really enjoy, unless you're one of these people that only watches reality shows, which I really doubt it. You're probably somebody that really does enjoy fiction, and it might not be in the form of books. So I can tell you right now, you probably do have a creative mind, and you could definitely do this business if you even have any remote story ideas. I mean, how many times have you watched a TV show or a movie and you're like, I don't like the ending, I could have done better than that. Or I don't like these characters, I could have wrote a better character than that. Or I don't like the plot, I could definitely do better than that. I mean, I'm sure you've told yourself that a million times, and you can now start to expand in this way, utilizing your creativity, your creative mind, that we all have, that we're all born with, to be able to make a lot of money in this Amazon publishing business. So here I am with my daughter. This is giving me the true life of financial freedom that I've always wanted. We're here in Panama City Beach, Florida. I'm super happy and excited to be here. And this is a move that I've been talking about wanting to do forever. And I'm starting to now see that this is becoming the life that I've always wanted for decades. So I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you can launch your own 7-figure Amazon publishing business and start earning $10,000 per month in record time, likely within the next, I would say, 3 to 6 months, as long as you follow suit with my exact step-by-step blueprint that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to give you a case study. Sarah, she accidentally stumbled on our Fiction Profits business model, and believe it or not, she's making over $1 million per month like clockwork. This is Sarah Moss. Look her up on Amazon if you don't believe me. She makes well over $1 million per month. She writes short, steamy romances under this pen name, and she lives in Philadelphia with her husband, her son, and her dog. She's definitely living the ultimate life of financial freedom. And so this is how you can actually kind of spy on authors to get an idea of what they're making, just to get an idea of what kind of books are making money and what kind of books are not making money. So then that way, you know what kind of books to go after and what kind of books to publish and what kind of books to avoid like the plague. And so there's a way that you can actually spy on these authors by using this software called KDKeywordTool.com. This is where you can get it. It's a one-time cost. It's so cheap. It's like less than a dinner. And you never have to pay like a recurring subscription. It's like a one-time charge for this software. And you can literally spy on these authors. The reason you're going to want to spy on these authors is so that you can check out exactly what niches, what tropes and themes, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about as we go along, which ones are most popular, which niches are most popular, and which ones suck, like which ones aren't selling. And that's the starting point to all of this. You start off with finding what's popular, what's making money, what types of fiction genres you're interested in. And then you see, okay, if they're making money, then I can definitely do this for sure. And I'm going to share with you exactly how easy it is to do this business. And you'd just be shocked and amazed at just how easy this is with a brand spanking new tool that just recently came out. And I have to wait to share this with you, but it's just so exciting that I'm just like, this is just a true game changer like I've never seen before. So I'm going to share that with you in a short hot second here. Now, what's most interesting about all this is that most of the people that are making between $500 and $1 million or more per month in net profits, they're not even household names. Like household names are like Stephen King, John Grisham, Nora Roberts, Danielle Steele. Those are like household names. But you'd be shocked to know that most of these people, nobody's ever heard of these people. They're all publishing under a self-published press, meaning that they're not with one of the big 5 publishing houses like Simon & Schuster, Random House, Penguin, etc. And so they're no names, and they're making a ton of freaking money. Like, for example, take a look at these 2 authors. You have Liz Tomford. She's not a household name at all. She's making on average about $158,000 per month with just one book on Amazon. And then, of course, you take Nora Roberts. Everybody's heard of her. She's a household name. She's only making about $37,000 a month on her top-selling novel on Amazon Kindle right now. And what's most interesting about these 2 is that when you self-publish, you get the lion's share of the profits, which means that you get to basically make all the money. But when you are unfortunately, one of the famous authors who are with a big publishing house, they're splitting the vast majority of their profits and proceeds with the publishing house. Like, they're not even getting the lion's share of their work. It's like crazy. So here are the 2 books in comparison, and proof that these books are literally making this kind of money. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, don't you think that this is crazy? I think this is the craziest part. Or compare these 2 authors. So No Name, Katharina Mora, she's actually doing really well on Amazon right now. She makes on average profits in her pocket about $273,000 per month just with this one book, which I'm going to share with you in a second. So there's Danielle Steele. Everybody's heard of Danielle Steele. She's only making $27,000 a month on her top-selling novel on Amazon right now. I mean, this is proof. That's even crazier, right? Like, everybody's heard of Danielle Steele. She's like so freaking famous. She's been a writer for decades and decades upon decades. And then here, Katharina Mora comes along. She's fairly young. And look at how much she's making on this one book. And again, she's not even a household name. Nobody's even ever heard of her. And she's getting the lion's share of the percentage of the proceeds of her book. Danielle Steele is not getting the lion's share because she has to share the vast majority of her proceeds with her publishing house, which pretty much sucks for Danielle Steele. So is this possible for you? Absolutely it is. In fact, especially if you're a woman, I believe that there's no other business out there that's making more money for women than this Amazon publishing opportunity, especially when you're getting involved in romances. Now, there's a lot of men that are doing this too. Like they're writing under pen names that are women's pen names. So you would be shocked and amazed to know how many men are actually doing extremely well with this business because they're writing under a female pen name, or they're writing under initials, like, for example, 2 initials and a last name, and nobody knows that they're men. In fact, I know personally a couple of men that are doing this that are making well over $100,000 per month. So you don't have to be a woman to do this, but if you are a woman, then you definitely have an advantage because you'd understand the nuances of the romance fiction genre, probably more so than men would. So take a look at Elle Steele. Now, I have to tell you that I have to be honest with you. She really bothers me because, and this is why, so people will ask me all the time, why don't you share your pen name with us, Monica? Like, why won't you tell us who you are online writing erotica? And it's because of this. Okay, this is case in point the exact reason. Like, I've told people my pen name, here and there every so often, usually at either a cocktail party or when I drink a little bit too much, and it's always a mistake when I do because. And case in point, this is exactly what ends up happening, where you have somebody that just literally will rip off all of your tropes, all of your themes, all of your covers, all of your titles, like all of it. They just literally rip everything off. It's like crazy. But this just goes to show you that you don't even have to be freaking creative at all. You can literally just rip off pretty much somebody's title, not word for word, but just changed one word in it. Like, she literally just changed one word in the title. She literally changed the roses from pink to blue or purple or whatever the hell that is. Everything is like pretty much the same on the cover. Everything's pretty much the same in the title. The tropes and themes were all ripped off. She just changed the names of the characters, and that's it. And she's able to make $240,000 in revenue on basically this ripped off book. So again, it just goes to show you that you literally need no creativity whatsoever. And even though this is, in my opinion, not really ethical, but it works, okay? And so the reviews aren't even that great. I mean, I think she's got 4-star reviews across the board, and she literally she ripped off the cover title, she ripped off the tropes and themes of Katharina Mora's work, and she's literally ripped off pretty much everybody. Like if you actually look at her body of work by clicking on her name, Elle Steele, you'll see that she's ripped off everybody. She's even ripped up me off. Okay, so this is again why I'm very protective as far as the types of genres, the exact subgenres, and things that I write for, including my pen name. So again, case in point, anybody can do this. But if you take a look at all of her body of work, it's kind of a hodgepodge of everybody's ripoff stuff. Like the Ice Kiss is a ripoff, like Liz, I think it's Liz Tomford that writes a lot of the hockey romances. There's another author that writes a lot of the hockey romances. So you can see the very first book that she wrote at the bottom on the left. Is an ice hockey romance ripoff, and then she ripped off Katharina Mora on The Wrong Wife, and then she ripped off the billionaires. I mean, she's literally, and then she's ripped off Laura. I'm going to get into what she writes in a second. She ripped off her with the dark mafia romance. So she literally, in a hodgepodgey, really sleazy way, ripped everybody off. But yet this woman is making a freaking fortune. Okay, so this is case in point that you don't have to be brilliant and you don't have to be creative to do really well. You just have to be very consistent, and you have to just roll up your sleeves and be willing to follow a very simple step-by-step plan. So she doesn't write any of this stuff. I know that firsthand. She writes a ghostwriter, but again, she just rips everybody off in the process. So now you're probably thinking, this really seems overwhelming. Most likely you have no clue as far as where to start in the Amazon business. Well, this is exactly the position that Laura was in just a short time ago. And this is exactly what she told me. She says, I remember browsing on the internet looking for business ideas that I can do from home. And then she said a college friend messaged her on Facebook. She was in town. We ended up meeting at a Mexican restaurant, got drunk, got Cadillac margaritas. I love that part of the story. And she told me that she was making serious cash on the site, writing hot romance novels. And she was making a killing doing it. She said that she wrote very simple short romance novels that made her the titles made about $100,000 per month. That was at that time. They make a lot more now. On Amazon, as you know, that you make roughly 70% of that. So you don't get 100% of that money. So when you gross 100,000, you only get 70%, which means that you get 70,000, which is a lot more money than you would ever dream of getting if you had a big time publisher publishing your novels for you. I mean, most of the time you'd be lucky to get somewhere under 10% if you have a big time publisher publishing your work for you. So this is actually a pretty good deal to publish on Amazon. So after bumbling around trying to launch her own Amazon publishing business, and after reading a few $10 books on the subject on Amazon, she decided that there's a lot of stuff that she didn't know that she needed to know. And so enter the Fiction Profits Amazon business blueprint, taking her from literally nothing to a $400,000 per month Amazon publishing business in 2 years. Yes, 24 months. Now you're probably thinking, oh, Monica, that's just forever away, like 2 years. Okay, hello. How old are you going to be in 2 years from now? I mean, seriously, how old are you going to be in 2 years from now? And what is the likelihood that in 2 years from now, whatever you're doing right now is going to bring you $400,000 a month? And don't you think it might be worthwhile for you to basically roll up your sleeves, put the time, effort, and energy into it, knowing in a year to 2 years from now, you'll be looking at $400,000 per month? I would say yes, for sure. So here she is. She makes over $400,000 per month. She writes small town romance books. She lives in Las Vegas, definitely living the life of her dreams. And so here's another one. This is the other author I was telling you about, the one that Elle Steele likes to rip off. She likes to write a lot of dark mafia romances. So Parker Huntington is also absolutely killing it. Also following suit with our 4-step Amazon publishing blueprint as well. So because there's such low competition and a huge insatiable demand for these hot-selling fiction books, all you have to do is stick to our tested and proven Fiction Profits Amazon blueprint, and it can streamline you, taking you from Zippo to 50,000 or more per month within a year. Okay, so this is not a get-rich-quick overnight scheme. This is not something that you're going to whip together in 2 weeks and be able to make millions of dollars from. Anybody who promises you that is probably selling you a bill of goods that's just not going to work. But this is a real business. Remember, this is a real business that you're going to have to build, and real businesses do take time and effort to do it. So like it has for hundreds of people just like you, and especially, like I said, if you're a woman, there is definitely no other business better on the planet than this one right here. So take Anna Wong, makes it over 250,000 per month, writes short, steamy romances under this pen name. Nobody really knows the identity. I have a strong feeling I do know. It's a guy named Rob who writes these books, and he writes them all with a pen name. He doesn't write a single book, actually. He has his ghostwriters. He has got several ghostwriters who write these books, and he's making over $250,000 per month. So this is case in point that men definitely can do this business. Or Liz Tomfort, we just talked about her before. She writes over $250,000 per month on Amazon. She likes to write sports romance, especially the hockey romance novels, and she lives in Northern California, living her writer's dream. Candy Steiner makes over $400,000 per month on Amazon, writes roller coaster romance novels, lives in Tampa, Florida, definitely living the life of a writer's dream. Elsie Silver makes over $450,000 per month on Amazon, writes small town romance novels, lives in Vancouver, BC, with her hubby, son, and 3 dogs, definitely living the writer's dream. Katharina Mora, we just talked about her, makes well over $800,000 per month on Amazon. That's cash in her pocket, okay? That's cash in her pocket, not gross, cash in her freaking pocket. She writes simple, short, sweet romance novels and has created the ultimate side hustle, living in Hong Kong with her hubby. So again, this is case in point that literally anybody can do this as long as you are consistent. Consistency is the key. That is the secret key word here, consistency. So you have to be consistent with your efforts. You can't just whip something together, hope that it makes you millions and millions of dollars overnight, and when it doesn't, then you're off onto the next shiny object. You have to stick with this. So the reason that these people are successful is that they use a system that helps them turn out hot-selling books on a consistent basis. They treat this like a business. They put it on a schedule, and they literally crank out a book per month. And they crank out high-end demand titles. Like I said, 1 per month. It's a very difficult, I guess, strict structure. And most of these people will use ghostwriters. They never actually write it under the listed author or pen name. So essentially they're publishers, meaning they're kind of like movie producers in a way, to where they're basically like, okay, I have an idea for a book, and then they hire the ghostwriter to write the idea, and then they hire the cover artist, and then they hire somebody to write the blurb, and then they hire somebody to actually format the book for them, and then they hire somebody to do the voiceover. Which, by the way, all the things that I'm describing to you, except for the book cover part, of course, you can actually now have a different kind of way of doing it to save you thousands of dollars per title, and I'm going to share that with you in just a second. I can't wait to share this with you because it's literally a game changer to the power of 500. I'm just going to wait a little longer to share that with you. So are you ready to discover how you can become one of these wealthy Amazon publishers in my 3 key steps in creating a 7-figure Amazon publishing business? Yes, I hope so, because I'm about to share it with you anyway. So, step number 1 in the publishing success setup. So this is exactly what I did. So I first found a profitable niche, fiction niche, that I was mostly interested in for myself. And then, of course, based on the niche that I chose, the genre that I chose, I then chose a pen name. Because you have to choose your niche, you have to choose the genre of fiction writing first to then choose the pen name. Because obviously you might have a different pen name if you're writing mysteries versus romance novels. Like you might use different names for that. So you want to choose a pen name based on the kind of genre that you're going to be writing or you're going to be producing and publishing books under. You never, ever, ever want to use your real name, period. Never. Full stop. Okay? That's a rule. Next, you want to then create the right novel names, subtitles, and covers to be able to get maximum sales. And you're going to base these covers, you're going to base these titles, and you're going to base these subtitles on what's already selling. Kind of like that Elle Steele chick that I just showed you about. That kind of gets under my skin because she rips everybody off, but at least she knows what she's doing. Like she just goes for the gusto, goes for the stuff that's selling, and just literally knocks them off. Okay, that's exactly how easy this could be for you. I don't recommend that you do it that way. I do recommend that you kind of have a theme in all of your books that you have together, meaning that you don't jump from small town romances and then mystery thriller romances and then erotica romances and then historic romances. Like you don't want to jump all over the place. You want to kind of be consistent with your theme. You can change every so often, but you want to be relatively consistent. But you want to go with what's already selling like hotcakes already. And then you want to set up a publishing website and a lead magnet to get subscribers, to get a built-in fan base before you release your very first book. So that's essentially how I did it when I first got started. The way I do it now is a slightly different than the way I just outlined it, but I just wanted to share with you exactly how I did the steps. So yes, you can actually do the setup for your entire business in less than a week, because I've been able to shave off years of trials and tribulations, years of bumbling about and stumbling about to figure out the business, and just basically getting you in the business in less than a week with the Jumpstart plan. It's a 5-day Jumpstart that I have for you. So the Fiction Profits Amazon Publishing Blueprint that we're going to be able to help you set up is the same blueprint that hundreds of million-dollar Amazon publishers are using right now to make a ton of money. In fact, within your first 90 days, especially after you're able to launch. So this is the way it's going to work. You're going to have to use your first 30 days to launch your first book. And then after you launch your first book, you should start seeing a couple $100 here and there come in from your books. But if you do everything exactly the way we share with you, exactly step by step, you should be able to start making a consistent $300 to $500 per day within your first 90 days of starting the program, if and only if you start following the exact blueprint that we lay out. It's going to be different for everybody. It does not work out the same way. You might start seeing money right away, like within your first 30 days after you publish your first book. You might actually have to wait 6 months before you start seeing the money, depending on how consistent you are with the steps. So that's why we want to be side by side with you through this entire process. So the second step that I did was outsource for maximum leverage. So I had my first books written by ghostwriters. I had them edited by different professional editors. I had them recorded. Now all of this stuff was luckily able to cost me under $2,000 because I really did have a tight budget for my first project. But my later books, I'm not going to lie, they cost me about $6,000 per title, because it cost me about $2,000 to have them written, $2,000 to have them edited, and another $2,000 to have the Audible version done. But this is the game changer I'm about to share with you. This is what changed everything for me relatively quickly. And this is real recent, you guys. This is not something that I've even had the ability to use this whole time, because this is something that's just brand spanking new. This is before I was able to recently discover an AI-based novel writing software. So yes, there are novel writing platforms that have the capability to write and edit a complete novel for you. And nowadays, and this is another recent development within the Amazon KDP platform that you can publish your book to, they now allow you to use their internal AI voiceover services for free. So you upload your book. Your book might be, it's likely going to be in a PDF file or a Word document. Most of the time, I'm trying to remember, how do I publish my books? Because it's like, I usually publish exactly the way they tell me, in whatever format that they tell me to, but sometimes the format that I upload, I have to upload the other version of the format. It's just like, it's crazy. And it does change all the time, believe it or not. So it's like, wait a minute, I was uploading it this way like a couple weeks ago, and now I'm uploading it this way. Their platform is constantly changing, and most recently, one of the biggest changes that they've created was when you upload your book, and when you finally have it go from draft to published, and then it usually takes them about 24 hours to approve your book. The very moment that your book is live, you can then click another button. You literally click another button, and you can pick out of several different voices. There's like, I don't know, maybe, I want to say 7 to 10 different voices you can use. There's American English female. There's American, English male. There's British English female. There's British English male. There's like different variations of different tones of voice. And you literally listen to all these different voices, and you pick the voice that you like the best for your novel. And that saves you thousands of dollars of having to pay somebody to do the Audible version of this. This is, again, brand spanking new, something that Amazon is just offering that's new. So between you using a very budget-friendly AI-based novel writing software platform that can write and edit your book, now when you upload your book to the Amazon KDP platform, you choose one of the voices to do the voiceover for your book, and you've literally saved yourself anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 to publish your book. Like, how crazy is that? And so this is like truly a game changer. It has been for me, but I just wanted to outline exactly what the steps are that I use to be able to get into this business. So yes, by the end of 90 days, if you follow through with really cranking it up, like for example, I tell everybody 1 book per month. But say, for example, you decide because you have access now to the novel writing AI-based online platform to write and edit your novel, and you're cranking out 2 books per month, you can realistically start making between $5,000 and $10,000 per month at the end of 90 days if you decide to really start cranking out the books, which you can do with the AI-based novel writing online software platform. It's really crazy, like how much has changed. So with many of our highly successful Amazon authors and publishers, the biggest challenge is to stay on a very tight publishing schedule. But again, when you're using that AI-based software, I'm telling you, you can crank out as many novels as you want. You can literally crank out a novel a week, because the most difficult part, obviously, is to stay on that very tight publishing schedule. You have to keep cranking out books. You have to at least do 1 per month if you're going to gain any traction. And the only way that I know how to do that is to use these AI novel writing software platforms. That is literally the only way. And now you can go on Google and type in AI-based novel writing software platforms, and I've used several of them. Most of them do not work the way they say. Most of them suck. There's actually only one that I really like that could actually write your whole book for you. And then even then, you do have to have some kind of genre, some kind of story idea, some kind of structure in mind for the software to actually do it correctly. Otherwise, it's just going to crank out something that nobody's going to want to buy. And then you don't want a bunch of bad reviews, because that will sink your book before you even get started. So then step 3 is to upload and launch your book. This is including having a 250-word blurb, a professional cover, and a professionally done layout of your book. In the very beginning, I had everybody doing this except me. Now, because I now have these AI-based programs that I work with, the only thing that I really hire out for right now is the book cover. I even have the AI-based software do the blurbs for me. I don't need them to do the professional layout of the book anymore, because it's pretty much all laid out within the software. I don't need to hire ghostwriters to write the book. I don't need to hire a voiceover to do a voiceover for the book. So this eliminates thousands of dollars and months and months of extra turnaround time, having all these different professionals do all this, when you can literally, the very moment that you start your book with your AI-based novel writing software platform, you can then go to your cover guy at that same time and have him start doing a cover. And you can even crank out a book per week if you really wanted to. And that could really amp up and put you into that $5,000 to $10,000 a month threshold within about 60 to 90 days if you start cranking out a book a week. So when I first got started, my first book generated $16,928 in its first 30 days. Of course, it took about 6 to 8 weeks just to get the book into the system, because I didn't really know what I was doing. But this is what it made within its first 30 days, based on the tested and proven marketing system that I was able to develop as I went through this entire thing. And again, I had to create my own system, because I took pieces of other people's systems, and I found that a lot of their systems simply didn't work. So my total out-of-pocket investment was less than $2,200 for this book. But even if it did cost me, like some of my books later on cost me more than that, because there's so many people getting involved in this business that a lot of the really good ghostwriters are taken up. It takes you months to actually be able to get them to do your project, and then they're going to charge you a lot of money. Like, you'd be lucky to pay them $2,000 for a book. Most of them are going to charge you between $4,000 and $5,000 to do a book. And that's just the book part. So, but even if I did pay triple, say I did pay $6,000, which I started to pay later on for my titles, I'm still ahead over $10,000 on the book. So to just give you an idea, these are like the royalties that you could take a look at within my first year. This is kind of like what my first year looked like. So by the end of the first year, I was starting to hit like, I didn't show you the screenshot, but I was starting to hit like the $58,000. And then I was going up from there. So again, this is what we call the snowball effect, but you got to keep cranking out the books, because the very moment you stop, yes, the royalties will still keep coming in, but your fans really want more books from you. And they'll start to go elsewhere to other authors and other publishers if they don't continue to see more books coming in for you. So this was only releasing a book per quarter at that time. And then of course I fell off a little bit when I moved, and so I'm getting back up into this. And I'm just shocked and amazed at how quick it is to get back on the horse, how quick it is to start getting these numbers again, because I've already built a fan base with my pen name. And now I'm cranking out a book a month because now I've discovered this novel writing AI software, which has made my life so much easier. And so it's just going to be a matter of time before, you know, I can far exceed 250,000 and beyond. And I'm just really excited about this. So in the very least, in the very beginning, if you feel like this is something you can only do part-time, like as a side hustle where you can only devote maybe an hour or two a week on this, then you're probably looking at about 4 books a year or 1 book per quarter. And you could still hit those numbers if you really know the marketing part of it, which I'm going to share with you when you become part of the group. So step 4 is marketing secrets. This is where the rubber meets the road. So once my first book started getting some revenue, I launched my second and third books within about 5 months. It took me a long time because, again, I was using ghostwriters. I was still trying to get my feet wet in the business. I was still trying to find ghostwriters that knew how to write. I had gotten into a couple sticky money suck situations where writers didn't finish the project or the writing product ended up sucking and I couldn't even use it. One ghostwriter actually plagiarized somebody else's work, and when I ran it through the Copyscape program, I discovered that they plagiarized. I couldn't even use the book that they wrote for me. Thank God I got my money back, but still, you know, it's a waste of time. Like, you have schedules set up. You keep a very fine-tuned schedule, and when the schedule is thrown off because of stuff like that, because of human error and human negligence, then you have to start over. This is, again, why I love this novel AI-based software, because you don't have to deal with the human element screwing anything up anymore. You basically just write and write and write, put all your ideas and throw them into a software program and kick out a book a week. And so this is how this has really changed my life. So this is how my life was before. I still do events here and there, but not nearly as much as what I used to, because I used to spend a lot of time doing a lot of speaking and flying all over the country and working 60 to 80 hours a week, and I just didn't want this life anymore for myself. And so I decided that I just wanted to only do some of the other stuff I was doing before, like my real estate investing and all of those other types of things that give me internal gratification just on a very minimal part-time basis. And I really do this most of the time, my writing business, because I really enjoy it. And if you're a creative person like I am, maybe you don't necessarily want to write, but you have a bunch of story ideas, and this is definitely the opportunity for you. So anyone wondering how you can crank out 1 book per month or even 1 book per week? Well, welcome to the world of novel writing AI. It's a budget-friendly software program that will literally, in very bare minimum, be able to help you crank out at least 1 book a month. And if you really do, you know, flex the muscles with this, you can very well crank out a book per week if you really want to. And you don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to ghostwriters anymore. Those days are over. Thank God, right? Because hiring professionals costs a lot of money. There's a lot of human error. There's a lot of human negligence. There's a lot of human delay. And this used to be what I call the flaw. Like, so every opportunity has a flaw. I don't know if you're aware of this, but like everybody that presents the opportunity of a lifetime, at the end of the day, there's always a flaw. And for the fiction profits business, the flaw used to be hiring the professionals because of how costly they were, how negligent they were, how untalented they were, just a lot of different problems with the human element. So when I first started publishing Amazon books under my pen name, some of them I'd write on my own, but then I realized there's no way I can get to, I mean, I was even having a problem staying at a book a quarter. So if I wanted to ever get to a book a month, it was never going to happen if I was going to be writing my own stuff, because I had so much other stuff going on in my life, my professional life. So this is when I started branching out to hire ghostwriters. Most of them were just not simply good writers. And therefore, they would start to damage the brand, because you'd start losing sales because people got used to a certain kind of writing, and then you'd present some other new kind of writing, and they're like, this wasn't written by you, or it just sounds different, and they didn't like it. So it was just a waste of money, and it was a waste of time, and it was a damage to the brand. I would also hire voiceover talent to create the audible version of the books. And this year, a lot of advances have taken place when it comes to AI, or artificial intelligence, to replace 3 of the most expensive professionals for the book writing and publishing business, which is writing, editing, and voiceover. Each one of those, at bare minimum nowadays, because of the high demand for these professionals, they're going to cost you on average $2,000 per book per professional. So that's about $6,000 on the low end per book. And that's a lot of money. And so this was sustainable to me because on average, I would earn about $15,000 in the first 30 days for every time I release a new book. But if you're new to this business, like how many people really have this $6,000 laying around to throw into a book that may or may not sell because the professional might be a crappy writer and write really something really sucky, or they might plagiarize and get you in trouble and get you banned on Amazon or whatever the case may be. Like, you can't really take that risk anymore. And the good news is you don't have to with AI-based novel writing software. And best of all, not only can I show you the exact AI novel writing software platforms that I like to churn out endless high profit books without having to hire a ghostwriter, editor, or voiceover talent, but again, you'll be saving thousands of dollars. You'll get a certain kind of product that's very consistent across the board. You'll be able to meet all of your timelines for publishing on Amazon, and you'll be able to get a very consistent money-making schedule going when it comes to your publishing efforts, provided that you're willing to actually do the work that's involved, which is to use the software. You have to use the software and crank out a book, at least a book every month in the very least. And this is all very doable with the AI-based novel writing software, which again was not even doable a short time ago. So here's how we're going to be able to help you do this. We're going to be able to help you set up your Amazon publishing business from scratch, start generating your first $5,000 to $10,000. That might happen within the first few months. It might happen within the first 6 months. It just depends on how much you want to churn out as far as finished product for novels through the AI-based novel writing software platform. And then, of course, once you get your business set up, once you start to gain traction and a fan base and start making sales, then it's a matter of step 3, which is scaling your business 6 to 7 figures per month, and maybe even one day 8 figures, who knows. And so within our first 90 days, the main goal is to show you how you could bring in your first $5,000. That's your first $5,000 total within your first 90 days, just to be able to rapidly snowball from there using what I call the snowball effect. So even if you have zero hands-on experience with writing, creating stories, or having any publishing experience whatsoever, we could definitely help you with that through our 5-day, what I call Jumpstart Crash Course. That's how it all starts, with the 5 days. And basically, it'll bring you through our proprietary 4-part blueprint that have been used by hundreds of people just like you to launch highly profitable Amazon publishing businesses. So then you'll move into what I call the Fiction Profits Kickstart and Advance group. So after the 5 days, you'll start to work through a different set of more, I guess you could say, nuance and deep dive into exactly how what makes all the Amazon components tick. So the 5 days will just get your business set up, but then you need to understand, okay, how do you thoroughly look at and research tropes and themes? How do you thoroughly research exactly what's selling? How do you avoid the stuff that's not selling? How do you, create a book that maybe is really unique that a lot of readers are going to want to read, but also falls in line with the genres that are selling? So it just basically goes into a deeper dive on exactly how to be successful in this business. And so this will also include live trainings and workshops. We'll be side by side with you the entire way to help implement the correct systems that you need to get you going into that 6 to 7 figures per month with your book sales, to scale as fast as possible, to make sure that you have the right help and support in place so that you can remove yourself ultimately at some point from the day-to-day activities of your business so that you can focus on more books and have other people, like virtual assistants, for example, handle all of the uploading and picking the voice talent in the AI system in Amazon, and all these different things that you can do to offhand to someone else so that you focus on the creative part, the money-making part, which is churning out the books. And so you'll master what I call the 4-point blueprint for massive success in Amazon publishing. And this is the same exact blueprint used by these authors like Adriana Locke, who now makes over $250,000 per month on Amazon. She writes big family, small town romances. You can see her body of work below, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And she's created the ultimate side hustle, living in the Midwest. Or Elle Steele, you could probably tell I'm not a fan of her because she does rip everybody off, and she's ripped me off. And she's one of the very few people that actually knows what my pen name is, which is hence case in point why I got ripped off by her. But she basically writes rip-off romance titles that she uses. She actually has, other ghostwriters write for her. She doesn't write any of this stuff. But she was just a bored housewife And she was in London, and she's like, maybe I could do this, and she decided to jump on board with Fiction Profits, and here she is, making over $300,000 per month. Or Melanie Harlow makes over $450,000 per month on Amazon. Sweet, sexy, feel good romance. She actually lives in Detroit, also living the life of her dreams. You can see a little bit of the body of work at the bottom of the page there that she writes. Or Pippa Grant, one of my favorites. She makes over $400,000 per month on Amazon, writes unique romance novels, and is a stay-at-home, now living the life of her dreams, making well beyond what her husband makes. And Emily Rath, she's another one who also does sports romances or hockey romances, because I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head, but Emily is the one. Makes on average $1 million a month, folks. $1 million per month, writes hockey romances, and now lives the life of her dreams in Florida with her husband and her cat. Case in point, anybody can freaking do this. It's not rocket science. So again, you can check these people out to find out exactly how much they're making. This is going to be the part that you're going to essentially have to do in the very beginning anyway, when you start this whole business off, by basically going to kdbestsellers.com. I created a forward link for you to be able to get to the top 100 paid Amazon bestsellers. And then once you get there, I recommend you load in the keyword tool first before you go to the KD Bestsellers. So then that way you have the tool, and you basically just click on a little round button in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. I suggest that you put it on, like, say, Mozilla Firefox. You download Mozilla Firefox into your laptop or your computer. And then that way, if you do use Amazon a lot, you don't have to keep logging out of your Amazon account. So you use Mozilla Firefox, and then once you load in the keyword tool, and then you have that little dude in the corner, which will be kind of black and white, a little circle in the upper right-hand corner of your Mozilla Firefox browser, then you can go to kdbestsellers.com, and you can literally check out what these people are making. It's freaking insane. You will be like, how is it that I never heard of this before? Let me tell you why you've never heard of this before. It's because people in this business don't want to share this business with you because they want to hog all the money themselves, right? Like, when you start making this kind of money, are you literally going to advertise this to everybody and their mom about this opportunity, knowing that the more that you tell people about this opportunity, the less money that you'll make down the road? Like, are you really going to be willing to do that? And the answer is no. And that's why you probably never heard of this opportunity before, because people that are of this caliber making this kind of money every single month, they're very stingy about wanting to share this opportunity with people because they don't want you taking all the business away from them down the road. So they keep it quiet. This is like the ultimate millionaire next door opportunity, where you just simply make all this money, you share it with no one, you share the opportunity with no one, and you just keep quietly making the money, stockpiling the money, and then one day after maybe a few years, you decide to not do it anymore, or you can even sell your business and retire. I was actually recently considering buying somebody else's brand, because one of the hot sellers right now is romances that are virgin romances, like virgin romance novels. And so I was considering buying this person's pen name, and guess how much they're making? They're only making $10,000 a month on these virgin romances, and yet they're trying to sell their business for $250,000. Basically, they added up, like they did 10 times 12 times 2 years, and that's how much they're trying to charge to sell their business. So imagine if you're making, say, $50,000 a month. I'm going to calculate that, and I'm going to tell you what your business is going to be worth if you want to sell it one day. So at $50,000 a month times 12 times 2, you could sell your business for $1.2 million, and somebody will pay that for your business that you built up, your Amazon business. So if one day you're just like, this romance thing sucks, or I'm just sick of this business altogether, in addition to having made all that money and hopefully saving it, and hopefully having invested that money into some kind of passive income asset like apartment buildings or something, for example, in addition to that, you can then sell the business to somebody else, one of your competing brands, one of your competing pen name writers or publishers, and you can get out of the business later. It's definitely a sellable business if you wanted to do that one day. So if these people can do it, you absolutely can do it as well. And you can start by becoming part of a membership that includes some of our $100,000 or month earners who are Amazon publishers right now. So yes, you will be part of a membership that already has people that are already making over $100,000 per month with our Fiction Profits system. So this is where you're going to go to be guided through every step of the way, including finding what we call the most powerful and profitable tropes and themes. So obviously, first you want to find the genre that you want to write. So say it's romance. And then the next thing you want to do is look at the most most profitable books on the bestseller paid list on Amazon to find out what the tropes and themes are. It might be billionaire, kind of books that where the billionaire has to marry somebody to be able to inherit the billions from the granddad before he's 30 years old or something like that. So that might be a running theme over the course of, say, 5 top selling books. So you might want to emulate that kind of trope and theme set there. Or you might decide to look at the hockey romances, although I think they're starting to fizzle out. Or you might try to look at the dark mafia romances, which are my favorite personally. So you start to look at the tropes and themes that are the most profitable. Then you want to create a pen name that you could also secure the .com name for. So, for example, when you choose a pen name, you might choose a pen name like Jasmine Rose, maybe Jasmine Rose Peters or something. So you want to go to GoDaddy.com and type in JasmineRosePeters.com to see if that .com is available. You don't want the .net or the .org. You definitely want the .com. And if it's not available, then you just simply try to find other pen names where the .com is available, because there's millions of pen name options for you. Then you want to set up your entire business from scratch, and you could do this in less than a week. Create a simple story premise for your AI-based software. So then that way you're not paying between $2,000 and $6,000 or more per book title, when you could save all of that money with a very budget-friendly AI novel writing software, which I'm going to be able to share with you in the group. You'll be able to also strategically line up all the components you need to successfully launch a highly profitable Amazon publishing business using my 4-point Fiction Profits Blueprint that hundreds of other students are using right now to make $10, $20, $30 plus $1,000. We have some $100,000 earners. We even have a couple $250,000 a month earners in the Fiction Profits group. And you'll be able to be part of that group with some of these people that are making that kind of money as well. So to build a profitable Amazon publishing business, it's going to realistically take you between 6 and 12 months. And I'm just being honest, because you want to get a book a month flow going within your first few months. You want to gain traction with your pen name, building a brand that starts to take on its own life with a fan base. You want to be able to get that full snowball effect that's going to take about 6 to 12 months. But if you think about it, how old are you going to be a year from now? I mean, think about it. How old are you going to be 1 year from today? And you have a choice. Would you rather be 1 year older and being in the exact same boat you're in today? Or would you rather be 1 year older and making 20, 30, 40, 50,000 plus per month in 1 year? I mean, it's completely up to you. You can decide that you want to do the work and do the business and be making a lot more money or not. But you're still going to be a year older no matter what. So the choice is yours, obviously. So here's the good news I have for you. What if I told you that I could help you start making money right away without waiting 6 to 12 months to start making some serious cash? Would you be interested in that? And I'm hoping the answer is yes. This would give you options. So instead of waiting months and months to start seeing the fruits of your labor with the Amazon publishing business, you can start making money right away with something what I call this my double-edged or double-pronged secret. In fact, with this little side hustle, before you start hitting it big with your Amazon publishing business, wouldn't you think that it's worth maybe getting another side hustle like the double prong or the second side hustle business that can maybe make you $125,000 to $250,000 per year, which would be about $10,000 to $20,000 per month? I mean, don't you think that would be pretty cool? I think that would be pretty cool, and I'm going to share with you exactly what this business is. You do know what you want to know what the business is, right? I'm thinking that you probably do, so I'm going to share it with you. I have 3 secrets for you, and it's about this business that I know that literally anybody can do. I have 30 years of experience that I'm going to basically be able to give to you in only a handful of weeks, and I can help you get high-paying clients in less than 60 days in this power-packed, highly profitable business. Who wants to know what this business is? You guys want to know what it is? All right, I'm going to share it with you. So it's a secret business. It's a side hustle business that literally anybody can do, and it's copywriting. So every single one of these online marketers, entrepreneurs, and business owners out there, they all need copywriters that can pump out copy for a variety of different things, including websites, sales letters, brochures, presentations, video scripts, even full-page ads or space ads in newspapers and magazines. They need people to write sales copy for their organizations, for their businesses, and they either don't have the time or the skill set to do it on their own, and they're high-paying clients because they're business people, and generally business people pay a lot more money for products and services than your average Joe Blow will. So what is a copywriter? Well, by definition, it's a person who writes text of advertisements. Basically, any kind of ad that you see online is written by a copywriter. These people write for websites, they write brochures, they write sales letters, they write scripts for presentations and sales videos. Like, that is what a copywriter does. And you could absolutely make a fortune in this high in-demand copywriting opportunity by simply understanding two things. One, write copy that sells like hotcakes, and two, get an endless stream of high-paying clients. Those are the only two things you need to know how to do to be a highly profitable and successful copywriter. And you cannot have one without the other. You must have both to be successful. So secret number two is that you can get my 30 years of experience crammed in to only a few weeks that you can basically piggyback off of to be able to establish and create a highly successful copywriting career. So high-paying clients do not want inexperienced copywriters. That's just a reality. Ad campaigns, sales letters that go out in the mail, that all cost a freaking fortune. And established businesses, they want top-notch copywriters to do the copy. So you could literally piggyback off my 30 years of experience to catapult yourself to success in only 6 weeks. So you can learn how to do this yourself. You can read 100 copywriting books out there and practice copywriting till the cows come home. And write, not really even know what you're doing. Look at a bunch of different ads from back in the day, read a bunch of books about it, go to copywriting clinics and seminar events, and literally do this for many, many years, usually decades, to become a master at this. That's option A. Or option B, you can take a shortcut, discover a simple, tested, and proven 1, 2, 3 system that I use copywriting templates that are basically plug-and-play templates. You can learn how to write quick and passionately, using a strategy that I use for what I call emotional fodder. And you could find high-paying clients within 60 days or less. You could shave years, even decades, off the process of becoming a highly proficient and lucrative copywriter. So you can literally start making money pretty fast. I don't recommend the first way just because it takes forever. It takes forever and ever and ever. It took me decades to learn how to write the way I write. And I can literally put this information into your brain within only a few weeks, believe it or not. So this is what copywriting can do for you. It can give you true financial freedom. But unfortunately, a high-paying job, this is what a high-paying job does. And I'm pretty sure that all of you do not want the high-paying job, otherwise you would not be here right now. And if you think owning your own business will give you financial freedom, think again. In most cases, most people don't realize when they start their new online business or they start any kind of business, they don't realize that they're worse off than just keeping their 40-hour-a-week job, because most businesses require 60 to 80 hours a week. There's dips in cash flow, there's dips in profits, there's debt that's created, lots of sleepless nights, no vacations for at least the first 3 to 5 years. That's your typical business. So if you've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and you're like, this is my dream, I want to be an entrepreneur, this is exactly what you're looking at, is this. So just think in terms of this every single time you want to jump on the next shiny object and the next shiny object business that comes your way. That's basically what you're looking at. Unless, of course, you understand and learn how to ride on somebody's coattails if and when you get the opportunity, just like the opportunity you're about to get right now. So not only can I give you a crash course on how to become a talented copywriter, I could do it in 6 weeks. And on top of that, once you earn your certificate, I can also guarantee that you'll get paid copywriting jobs. I have a ton of clients that need stuff done like yesterday. I'm always behind on the copywriting jobs that I have, but I also run my own business as well, and I always need copy for my own business that I'm willing to pay you for, but only when you're able to earn your certificate through the 6-week program. I have a lot of assignments that need to be written, and I also work with several businesses that also need a lot of copy written for sales letters, websites, emails, sales pieces, sales video pieces, presentations, other stuff that I've established with copywriting clients who I've been serving for many years, who also need the same litany of stuff, and it never goes away. Like, if you think this is a one-stop shop, this is the only assignment, no, there's endless amounts of emails that need to be done, endless amounts of presentations and video sales letter scripts and website copy that needs to consistently be done, and it needs to be done fast. And so there's tons of assignments that we basically need your help for. And we need it like yesterday. So the faster we can train you as a highly proficient copywriter, the better. So secret number 3, you could also get your own high-paying clients in 60 days or less. So maybe you don't want to rely on our company, or maybe, if there's a ton of you that get your certificates and we just don't have thousands of assignments for you guys, I'm also going to share with you how to get your own high-paying clients in 60 days or less. And I literally have a list of companies that are looking for high-paying or highly proficient, I should say, copywriters like yesterday. So for some copywriters, it could take many years to get established because it takes a long time to become skilled. And unfortunately, if you're not skilled enough, they're not going to want you. They're not going to want your services if you're not skilled enough as a copywriter. So basically, I could share with you and cram in my 30 years of experience to share with you exactly what you need to know to be able to get endless amounts of high-paying copywriting jobs, and you would never, ever, ever have to worry about money again. So you can get trained by me in my style of copywriting, write for our established business clientele, and you can write for us, but we will also share with you exactly how to find your own clientele as well, who will pay you thousands of dollars in some cases for some of your copywriting pieces that you'll be doing for them. Listen, businesses all over the world need endless amounts of emails, endless amounts of website copy, endless amounts of copy for brochures and sales pieces and catalogs and all these different things. If anything, it just becomes more and more overwhelming for these companies, and they're always looking for powerful and proficient copywriters, just like you will become. So meet John Gabriel. He attended one of my workshops years ago on marketing. He pestered me about copywriting for my company, and I finally relented and allowed him to submit a sample copy. And eventually, we were starting to get him some real assignments. And of course, I had to train him on my style of copy. This actually took 8 months. He was my first, I guess you could say, guinea pig zero when it came to my copywriting program, because I didn't actually intend on having a copywriting program, but it was through John that I decided to actually do the copywriting program, because he wanted to be a copywriter for us. And so he was the first one to become certified. And eventually, he started to take on a lot of our copywriting assignments. Now we don't have John anymore because he works for himself and he does his own copy for his own highly paying copywriting clients. He does not work for our company as much anymore. He does do some overflow stuff, but he does have a specialty. And his specialty is writing scripts for video sales letters. And I don't always have video sales letter scripts that need to be written. And so that's why he adopted his own, he created his own business for his own copywriting clients. So I still use John every so often for video sales letter scripts, but that is his specialty. And so today he makes on average about $22,000 per month, and he has consistently for the past 7 years. Okay, that's how long it's been since I met John and we started working together on this. So how many of you would you love to be making $22,000 per month doing this? I mean, I'm sure you would, as an extra double-pronged side hustle, especially while you're getting your Amazon publishing business together. So he's not the only one, though. You want to check out some of our other students and what they're earning with this copywriting opportunity. Nicole makes $6,000 a month, and all she does is write headlines. Michael, he does on average about $12,000 a month writing video sales letters, kind of like John does. Alex makes about $8,000 a month writing copy for funnels, like website funnels. Daniel, he earns about $15,000 a month writing nutritional copy. Jason, he makes $2,000 per day. He's our most successful student, and he's a senior. He lives in Cape Coral, Florida, and he makes about $1 million a year writing nutritional copy. June makes $20,000 a month writing financial copy. Mary makes $5,000 a month writing for charity group. We have another Nicole. She makes about $3,000 a month writing and designing postcards for companies. So there's a bunch of different opportunities when it comes to copywriting, and all of these people started off with our copywriting program. So this is case in point on what you could do as well. So to get a highly profitable copywriting business set up and running, you need to be trained and certified on highly effective and responsive copywriting, to understand the basic business setup and requirements, including creating a work portfolio and a basic website. We're talking about a basic website that's like 2 to 3 pages big, 2 to 3 pages long. That's about it. It's like a basic website just to show that you're a professional. To find your own clients quickly and easily, you're going to need a portfolio and a basic website. And of course, to submit assignments for us, to get paid ASAP, you're going to have to become certified. So most importantly, you're going to need access to a swipe file, my swipe file vault, to simply emulate, swipe, rewrite, and deploy. And so you can literally use my swipe file, which is a collection that took me decades to accumulate, and it's of the most profitable and powerful successful sales pieces of copy ever written. So to be a successful copywriter, you must have a swipe file with thousands of pages of tested and proven copy. This will allow you to swipe already proven successful sales pieces of copy, from headlines to subheads to copy. And then you could use AI, so like ChatGPT, for example, to rewrite the copy for you. So you literally can copy and paste, say, a headline from one of the successful pieces in the swipe file. You can have ChatGPT rewrite the headline for you, and you literally have a brand new headline or a brand new body copy. That's how easy it is to rewrite copy to make it your own. And then you can literally create these new pieces of copy from scratch using your swipe file alongside of your AI-based software. And as you know, ChatGPT is free, so you don't even have to pay for ChatGPT, and you can actually do it this way. So having a swipe file is the game changer, folks. It will literally help you whip out endless amounts of copywriting assignments, because as you know, you don't get paid till you get the copyright assignment out there, right? So it'll allow you to whip out these copywriting assignments from scratch in just a couple of hours, rather than basically staring into a blank computer screen. That's how it was in the old days anyway. So it basically will allow you to get paid quickly on your assignments that you turn in. And best of all, I would actually like to give you my copywriting swipe file vault. Like I mentioned before, it took me decades to collect this vault, and I'm constantly adding onto it all the time. You're going to be able to access my entire copywriting vault and be able to see additional pieces as they're regularly added into the members only area. This vault in and of itself is worth tens of thousands of dollars, but you're going to be able to get it for free, okay? So this means that if you try to do this by yourself, likely you're going to fail, especially if you do not have the swipe file vault. You must have the swipe file vault to be a successful and profitable copywriter. If you don't have it, you're not going to have the secret sauce for success as a copywriter. So what if I could take all the guesswork out of figuring out how to build a highly profitable writing and publishing business, especially a copywriting business? Would that be of interest to you to find out how this is all possible for you? I hope so, because this is literally, in my opinion, the world's most perfect business. All right. What if I could guarantee your success in a way that nobody else can? Would you be interested? I hope you are. What if I can guarantee that you'll have high-paying copywriting gigs after you get certified as a copywriter? Would you be interested in that opportunity? What if I could work side by side with you until you can get your successful writing and publishing business up and running and profiting almost immediately? Wouldn't that be priceless to you? I would imagine that it would be, all right? So it would be like what I call the double-prong success secret, and this is what the double-prong success secret is. It's getting fast cash as a copywriter now, plus building your long-term Amazon publishing $1 million empire, which will take anywhere from 6 months to a year to really gain traction with that, equals a lifetime of income of ultimate financial freedom. So you'll be able to enjoy the double-pronged success secret. So especially for those of you that want to make money now, maybe you want to give up your business, or maybe you want to give up your job. Maybe you need extra cash right now and you don't want to wait 6 months to a year for your Amazon publishing business to kick off, then copywriting is going to be perfect for you. And then when you start to do the copywriting with your Amazon publishing business, and you do both of those as the double-pronged success secret, then you'll be able to get cash in the short term and the long term. Or you might just decide to skip the copywriting altogether and just focus on your Amazon publishing business, knowing that it's a 6 to 12 month ride. And if that's the case for you, then that might be the perfect opportunity for you. But at least you know that you have access to both of these opportunities in case you want short-term cash while you're trying to develop your empire for your Amazon publishing business, which is a longer-term play. So that's exactly how the double-pronged strategy works. Because if you think about it, how different would your life look if you were able to start getting $20,000 a month? whether it's just with your copywriting or whether it's with your copywriting and your Amazon publishing business or just your Amazon publishing business. Like, how different would your life look? Would you be able to work less? Probably, because in this business, working 20 hours is a long time. Like, I don't even work anywhere near that for the Amazon publishing stuff. You'll be able to travel wherever you want to go. You'll be able to maybe find the house of your dreams or get yourself a second home. Maybe you'll be able to retire your spouse or pay for a new house or car for your parents or your kids or your grandkids. You'll be able to donate more to charity if that's important to you. These are all the things that you're going to be able to do with $20,000 a month. So can I tell you that this is it? I mean, you're about to embark upon a journey that you're never going to forget, because this is probably going to be the last opportunity you're ever going to have to partake in because of just how powerful and profitable this is. So can I share with you how that's possible? Yeah? All right. So in this World's Most Perfect Business membership, you're going to be getting way more than what these two people are offering for their $2,000 courses. Take Carla Marie. She's offering you a $2,000 course, plus she wants to charge you an additional 5% on top of that for your profits from your Amazon Kindle and published books. And on top of that, if you want to get to the good stuff, it's another $10,000 to be able to, no, not call her, not email her directly, but to go through some Voxer or some other equivalent platform to communicate with either her or her business partner, Rob. And it's just kind of crappy all the way around, because you really don't get a benefit for $12,000 to be able to work with them directly. Or the Mickelson twins are selling you a $2,000 outdated course. It's not work about selling Amazon Audible books. You cannot publish an Audible book without a Kindle book, yet they fail to tell you this. Plus, they will also upsell you thousands and thousands of dollars. You'll be in on this just to realize when it comes time to publish your Audible book, you can't publish an Audible book without a Kindle book. Yet, for some reason, they fraudulently deceive people into making them believe that they can publish Audible books without a Kindle book, and you cannot do it. You cannot do it. If you don't believe me, go to Amazon or even Google it. Google, can you publish a Audible book without a Kindle book? And the answer is no, you cannot, all right? So each one of these Amazon gurus would charge you $2,000 after you watch a 90-minute webinar, and they won't even teach you 1/4 of what we'll share with you for a massive discounted price. So here is the Monica Main offer you cannot refuse. You like that? You ready for it? All right. So you're going to be able to get all of this for $199 per month, and you can cancel at any time. Yes, you will get everything, all of the courses, all of the bonuses, all of the stuff for only $199 per month, and you can literally cancel at any time. But this is for a limited time only, because my ultimate goal is to get this up to $299 a month. So therefore, the price will keep going up. So the longer you wait, the longer you drag your feet, the likelihood is that this is going to cost more later. So this is for the World's Most Perfect Business membership. Again, $199 a month, and you can cancel at any time. So you want to jump on board while you still can, while the price is still low, right? So here's another Monica Main must have gone absolutely insane bonus, and that is you'll get tickets to my next live 4-day writing and publishing workshop. You can attend either in person or virtually. And here's what you're going to get in that event. Day 1, copywriting basics using swipe files and AI to generate cash flow and copy. Day 2 is to set up shop for your copywriting business and getting clients right away, especially those high-paying clients that pay $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per job or more. Day 3 is your Amazon publishing business basics, including creating novels from start to finish using AI. Yes, you can create a novel from scratch using AI, and I will show you exactly how to do it on site. But in the workshop, we'll create a novel together. Day 4, launching your books to get maximum sales in minimum time. Listen, advertising strategies online, especially for books, change all the time. So I'll be delivering to you the latest and greatest in my next event. So you'll be coming to see me in Panama City Beach, Florida. Here are your dates. And again, you can attend either in person or virtually. It's going to be a lot of fun. We always have fun as a group. So hopefully if you can do it, you can make the trip, then come on down, because I would love to actually see you in person. So I have a couple more bonuses for the first 25 who sign up. So for the first 25 that sign up, I have these powerful bonuses. I have the Ultimate Copywriting Vault. I have over $10,000 more in copywriting swipe files. I'm going to actually send this to you on a flash drive. I'm going to send it to you in the mail. So you'll actually have this to be able to plug into your computer and be able to access over $10,000 worth of copywriting files. This is extra stuff that you'll be getting in addition to the membership that you'll be getting in the members only area. I'm also going to be sending you a free t-shirt. You're going to specify the size that you want. I'm going to be shipping it to you to your doorstep for free. We'll even cover the shipping and handling costs for you. So you're definitely going to want to jump on board now while you still can, because remember, the price is going to go up. So the price that it is now, right now today, is going to go up, and it's just going to keep going up and up and up and up until I hit $2.99 a month. All right, and I'm probably going to cap it off at that. So go ahead and get on board now, so then that way you can make sure that you get your bonuses. You definitely want to be the first 25 to sign up and be able to jump on board with us. So then that way you can start making loads of cash with the copywriting opportunity while you're slowly but surely building up your Amazon publishing business, which is, again, is going to take about 6 to 12 months. And then once you gain traction with your Amazon publishing business, you may or may not want to continue on with the copywriting business. You might just want to focus full bore on your Amazon publishing business. It's completely up to you. You can utilize the two opportunities, the copywriting and the Amazon publishing opportunity, whichever way you'd like. You could do both. You could do one. You could do both forever. You could do one forever. It's completely up to you. But at least you have both of those opportunities for both quick money and long-term money as well. So hopefully you guys jump on board while you still can, because remember, this is very limited. The price is going to keep going up. And on top of that, I only have a certain number of t-shirts and a certain number of these copywriting vault swipe file drives that I'm willing to give out. Because this is literally my collection of 30 years as a marketer that I have on this flash drive, including an additional $2,000 bonus that I can't even share with you exactly what it is, because I'm actually not supposed to be giving it to you. So I'm going to have an additional bonus on this flash drive that's worth $2,000 that I'm not actually supposed to be giving you, and that you're going to be getting, that you can only get on this flash drive. So you definitely want to jump on board while you still can. And if you have any questions, you could always reach out to me or call my office. My office number is 850-588-5500. But I will tell you that we're not able to enroll anybody over the phone. You have to go to the website and you have to enroll on the website. So you want to go to royaltycashflow.com. And again, the price will keep going up. And on top of that, the bonuses start to disappear. So why would you want to pay more later and have fewer things, fewer bonuses, while paying more? It just absolutely does not make sense. Now remember, you can cancel at any time. This is a subscription like any other subscription. If you don't like it, then you can just cancel. It's very, very easy. However, if you want to be in this on the long haul, and if you want to be able to be participating in a group with people who are already earning over $100,000 a month, one of them is a copywriter. He's making over $1 million a year. The rest of them are Amazon publishers that are making over $100,000 a month. One of them in the group is making over $250,000 a month. She's one of my 2 top earners in the Amazon publishing profession. I have 2 students that are making over $250,000 a month. One of them is in this group. You can hit her up at any point in time if you have any questions about Amazon publishing. This is how powerful this is. It's not just enough to try to go on your own to be part of another mentorship group or part of another seminar or part of another workshop. It's a whole different level when you're part of kind of like this online mastermind with like-minded individuals that are already financially where you want to be. And it kind of forces you to level up, if you understand what I'm saying. So you definitely want to jump on board while you still can, while the price is really ridiculously low, and while you still qualify to get these bonuses. So I want to see if anybody has any questions. Let me see if there's any questions that I can answer for you. How can generative AI be used to publish quality products? Well, you don't know about the new novel writing AI software, do you? You don't ever make assumptions about things that you don't know about, because you'd be surprised at how far advanced AI is getting now. And it's literally nothing in comparison to how it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. So yes, there is a secret software program. It's a very budget-friendly software program that you can use. It's literally the only one out there that will be able to generate an entire book for you. So you definitely want to know more about that, and you will know more about that the very second you join and sign up for the membership. So again, this is pretty much your last chance to be able to participate in this. If you've already signed up, you do not have to sign up again. You will automatically be entered into all the live sessions that are coming up. You will automatically be given the opportunity to come to any of the live sessions. If you do not make any of the live sessions, that's okay. You will be always able to watch the replays once the sessions are over with. They will be in your members only area. So this is really exciting because as time goes on, I'm just going to be adding more and more and more and more programs into your members only area, and you are permanently locked into the lower price forever. All right. So that's the cool thing about this whole thing, is that you're going to be getting tens of thousands of dollars in trainings over time as I do the trainings, and you will never again have to pay any more money than what you're already locked into. So it's a really cool opportunity. Again, this is as close to a mastermind online that I can come up with that you can be part of a mastermind with other people who are making over $100,000 a month, and you can literally ask them questions, any question that you would like to ask them about publishing, about copywriting, etc. Couldn't some of your copywriter clients use a copywriting software themselves and not use your company? Yes, they could, but usually these business people are way too busy. So copywriting is just not about churning out words, okay? That's only a small percentage of copywriting. You have to do something called a layout. So if you've ever seen an ad before, say for example, you pick up a magazine or newspaper and you look in the magazine or newspaper, you see an ad, it's not just copy on a page, there's a layout. You have to actually have something called print-ready copy. And most of these very busy CEOs and business owners simply do not have time to come up with their own copy, come up with their own layout, come up with their own graphics, come up with the entire aesthetics of the piece. They simply do not have time for that. So the answer is yes, they could if they really wanted to. Many one-man band companies will do their own copy, and they'll use AI to do their own copy. But you're talking about larger Fortune 500 companies that simply do not have time to do the layout of the copy. And that's where you can shine as far as being a highly profitable copywriter. How long does it take to get certified? It takes about 6 weeks to get your certification. So that's usually what it takes, because you do have to learn the skill set and exactly how to become a highly profitable and prolific copywriter. And it usually takes about 6 weeks to do that. So again, if you've already signed up, you don't have to sign up again. You're already in the system and you're already permanently locked in at your price. So you don't have to worry about signing up again. So once you're in, you are in. All right. So pat yourself on the back, because the price is only going to keep going up. And you don't want to have to pay more if you don't have to. Do you feel like there's still room for the newbies regarding the Amazon publishing business? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Because you would be shocked and amazed at how many people have different niches when it comes to Amazon publishing. Like, I didn't know, but there's all kinds of different niches and sub niches that are really small and minute that you can write for. And so there's like huge fan bases of people that are interested in these kind of oddball-y books. And there's just more and more people that are buying Amazon books literally by the day. And so you could always fill those niches and those needs. So yes, there's a ton of opportunity still in the Amazon publishing space, simply because there's just not a lot of really good books out there. And if you know how to create a story, so that's one of the things I want to share with you really quick, is that it's just not about dumping an idea into a novel writing AI software-based platform. It's literally about you using your mind and creativity to know what to dump into the AI-based software. Like, you have to have some creative mind. And if you're thinking, oh no, Monica, I don't think I'm creative enough. Yes, you are creative enough, because I can tell you the millions of times that maybe you were sitting in traffic or taking a shower or thinking about a different story idea. Every single one of you has had a story idea or two or three, probably many of them a day, that you think about, oh, this would be a cool movie if somebody wrote a movie about fill in the blank, or this would be a cool TV show if somebody wrote a TV show about fill in the blank. And you could use that creative mind, that creativity that you already have, and you could formulate a very basic structure of a story that you can dump into the AI software, and the software can then kick out a novel for you. It's not just a matter of throwing in a bunch of random tropes and themes in there and hoping that it comes out with a good book. There is some skill set to be able to use the software AI adequately. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the groups ahead, especially with the live trainings. And so that's why it's critical that you become part of a membership that you're constantly in line with and in step with all the newest stuff that's happening. This is beyond just being part of a mentorship group that in 6 months from now is probably going to be irrelevant because so much has changed in the business, right? So this is why you want to be part of a membership where you're constantly you're given the newest, greatest, and best things, ways of doing things, the newest and best ways of telling a story, the newest and best ways of being able to create a novel, using the newest and best, software programs. Like all of that changes like pretty much by the day these days, especially when it comes to AI. And so therefore, if I just threw out yet another mentorship group, it might be outdated in the next 6 months, and then I have to start over again. The cool thing about this is that you'll constantly be given the new information as the information comes out. And that's why this is so valuable. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that I actually have a master's degree in screenwriting. And I definitely know story structure like the back of my hand. And so it's not just as easy as just opening up a software program, an AI-based software program, and typing in there, write me a book. It's not as easy as that. But it's just as easy as knowing a beginning, middle, and end to a story. And so all I'm going to do is give you a crash course based on my training of story structure and how easy it is for you to come up with a beginning, middle, and end that somebody's going to want to read or care about, with some characters that people are going to care about, and then have the AI-based novel writing software take it from there, okay? So there's going to have to be some story structure, and that's, again, all stuff that we're going to be talking about in this group as time goes on. And the cool thing about the live trainings is that you'll constantly be given new information about how story structure works, how Amazon Publishing works, the latest AI stuff that's going on, the latest stuff about copywriting, actually showing you in my copywriting clinics exactly how you can take a successful piece and turn it into a brand new piece using AI, how to set up a structure of a copywriting piece, like all of that stuff. And it's important that you keep up on it if this is going to be a serious money-making business for you. How many hours per week should we plan to become certified in 6 weeks or so? Probably about 2 to 3 hours a week if you really want to be serious about this and really want to grasp the concepts of powerful and profitable copywriting. So on a weekend, maybe every Saturday or something like that, that's all it takes. That's really all it takes. Okay, so remember, you have a very limited amount of time, and then the price is going to yet again go back up. And it's just going to keep going up and up and up until I get to that $2.99 a month, and you don't want to be paying that. You want to pay the less amount of money and lock yourself in, okay? So you want to definitely lock yourself in. The reason we want to keep this as a membership is because of the ongoing support, the ongoing trainings, and the ongoing keeping you ahead of the game with the newest technology and the newest skills that are available at that time as they come up, because the skill sets are going to keep changing due to the changes in technology. So if you have any additional questions beyond what I was able to actually answer for you, then please call my office at 850-588-5500. We're available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. Please note that they cannot enroll you over the phone for this. You have to enroll online. So the information is located on the screen. All right, everybody, this is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you at the top.